Excellency Ganbo, the Ambassador of People's Republic of China to Fiji, Assistant Minister Honorable Alexandra Kona, Assistant Minister for Health, UNFAO Country Representative Ms. Joanne Young, Deputy Country Director of World Food Program Ms. Emma Conlan, representatives of various other regional and international organizations, senior government officials, our own Ministry of Agriculture, directors and heads, stakeholders, esteemed farmers, children, students, ladies and gentlemen, in Bulabanaka, and welcome to Ulunda ground here in Reykjavik this morning, despite not so favorable weather conditions. I join Excellency Bo, Honorable Minister, and representatives from WFP, UNFAO, and others to welcome you here today to celebrate the 2022 World Food Day and our mini agriculture show, following a very successful mini agriculture show in Singatoka a month ago. Ladies and gentlemen, as alluded to by the previous speakers, the World Food Day celebrations on 16 October each year is one of the most celebrated days in the UN calendar, and the primary objective is to encourage, revive the discourse on ensuring that every individual on this planet Earth is secured with regard to food and nutrition. There are places where both is an issue. There are places where balanced nutrition is an issue, or there are places where food security is an issue. We in Fiji are quite fortunate that from my assessment, in an absolute sense, food security is not an issue, but nutritional security is an issue. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, the celebration's theme is, and I quote, leave no one behind, unquote, and the priorities set to achieve the themes are better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life. All these components of the theme will guarantee a sustainable food production and distribution system. It is important that all of us involved in the urban area, in the periphery, in the rural, maritime, and those who are supporting this initiative for food security, production, supply, and distribution, ensure the system of production that we are engaged in is sustainable going forward, given the situation and threats and challenges that are being posed to us at all levels by climate change. Some of these external threats and forces and shocks that we have no control over as individual nations. The COVID-19 pandemic, Russia-Ukraine war, and the back-to-back tropical cyclones have compelled a reset of the Fiji's economy, showing us how important food is to our country. Every citizen is entitled to 2 to 3 nutritious meals a day. Every citizen should have access to land and plant and grow food choice, and should have enough income to buy food. So my definition of food security has 3 components. 1, enough supply. 2, accessibility. You can have enough production, but the distribution is truncated that people in certain areas have no access to food. So enough production, accessibility, and the third component is affordability. You can have enough production, you can have equal distribution throughout urban, non-urban, squatter, deep interior, maritime, etc. But if it is not affordable, that will be beyond the reach of ordinary Fijians, those probably in the squatter or maritime. So food security emphasizes these 3 components: enough production, even distribution, and it should be affordable. So any production system that we would want to adopt must ensure that there's enough production, there's enough proper distribution, and that it is affordable to ordinary Fijians in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, youths and children are our future, and it is in this regard that you will note often our Honorable Prime Minister talking about that our policy making ensures that we all grow together, and the current youths play or should play a very important role, because the policies that we are making today will gonna define their future. So every program that we hold, we ensure that youths are there, they participate, and also youths participate at different levels of the governance system that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, we also would want to improve the recognition of immense contribution that are made by women, with emphasis on subsistence and semi-subsistence agriculture. In fact, it is our women who strive very hard in the rural and maritime area to ensure that the households are secured with regard to food. It is our women who interact with the environment to ensure that the harvest that they're taking from the commons are sustainable. It is the women, at the end of the day, who ensure that the households' vulnerability are taken care of and reduced. And it's in this regard that the Ministry of Agriculture has a separate designated policy and allocation dedicated to those women who are engaged in agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fijian government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, is leading the way in transforming our agricultural system. On this note, I would want to acknowledge the support by development partners, the countries, international and regional organizations. One of our most important staple crop, rice, at one point in time we had self-sufficiency up to 65%, came down to close to 10%. Over the last 6 years, with major support from government of China, we have turned around the self-sufficiency to currently which stands at about 22%. Thanks to the government of China for coming and establishing with their technical support, with machinery, with finance, to turn around this self-sufficiency rate by substantial amount. Today we stand around 22%, far from where we were around 12%, 10 to 12%, some 6 to 7 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made substantial progress over the last 4 years. Our annual growth rate from 2018 to 2020 for the agriculture sector is 4.9%, that's substantial. We have increased our agricultural output, agricultural GDP, from 686 million in 2018 to 756 million in 2020. This growth was influenced by commodities such as kava, daro, ginger, turmeric, vegetables. For the first time in 2020, we exceeded, after feeding the entire nation, we exceeded exports, earnings over 100 million, 106 million non-sugar agricultural exports, and 101 million sugar. In 2021, we went to further 126 million non-sugar agricultural export earnings, but sugar went down to 66 million. But this is only possible if we really understand, identify and deal with the critical binding constraints in the agriculture sector. And I've been saying this often, that we need to deal with these binding constraints. Farm roads, long-term leases, infrastructure development, machinery provision. These are some of the critical binding constraints. We are asking for a national movement towards organic agriculture. There's a mindset amongst farmers that without pouring in inorganic chemical fertilizers will not be able to push agriculture growth and development. And we want to progressively change this mindset by providing alternatives. Ministry is not providing fertilizer. Fertilizers are being sold, and we are providing inorganic fertilizer. We're providing free liquid organic fertilizer to farmers through our agricultural extension offices. We're developing compost pits on farmers' fields. We're training farmers how to establish their own organic fertilizer. The journey is slow, long, but we'll get there. We have declared entire Rotuma as an organic island. We're about to declare Koro Island as totally organic. And gradually, bit by bit, progressively, we'll get to the mainland. We are now working with farmer groups, cooperatives, who are fully organic. There's a farmer in Kandagu, totally organic. There's a Dalo cooperative in Natasiri, totally organic. So gradually we'll get there, bit by bit, as we provide alternatives to them. If we want to differentiate our product in the export market, if we want to access the premium price, we need to ensure that our products are organic. So far, we've been riding on the brand image of Fiji's primary produce in the export market. We need to protect this brand image. Turmeric 6 years ago was a non-existent crop in the export market. Today, turmeric is the third largest export earner for Fiji. We are not able to fulfill the demand of turmeric in the US market for two reasons. One, our turmeric is 100% organic. And there is a growing market for organic products in developed countries. Number two, the turmeric variety that we have has got a very high cumin content. So ladies and gentlemen, we are on the journey to ensure that we increase food supply, we ensure that distribution is there, and we want to ensure that markets converge in reducing the prices so that it's affordable. We don't want to interfere in the market, intervene in the market and regulate the prices. That's not the sustainable way. The sustainable way to ensure that it's affordable is that there's distribution and there's enough supply to converge and bring the price down. There was a lot of pressure on us during COVID-19 crisis when prices were high because of curfews and lockdowns, and there was distribution issue. So certain areas, because of distribution due to lockdowns, there was shortage of produce and prices shot up. There was a lot of pressure on Ministry of Agriculture to regulate prices. We never want to develop policies, long-term policies to deal with a short-term issue. It was a short-term issue. The solution to the short-term issue was not to regulate price, but to quickly organize ourselves, distribute seed packs in the lockdown areas, and get people to produce. So we identified the short-term crops, mola, roro, cabbage, etc. 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 week crops, vegetables, and got production up and reduced and reversed the increase in price. That's the sustainable way of dealing with food security issues. Ladies and gentlemen, we are mindful of the issue of balanced nutrition. And we've got a number of projects and programs to deal with balanced nutrition. We've got this 50-50 village program where we are planting 50, our team goes down and plants 50 fruit trees in villages throughout Fiji. We have completed close to 200 villages. We are lagging behind. We want to go and finish the other villages so that the villages have access to nutrition, fruits. We are establishing orchards. You go to New Old Supermarket, you buy one dragon fruit, it will cost you $9. Hybrid guava, it will cost you $8. The only way to reduce prices of fruits is to ensure that we got enough orchards. You have a farm of rice, it's called rice farm. You have got a farm of dalo, it's called dalo farm. But when you have acres of fruit trees planted, it's called a fruit tree orchard. Whether it's breadfruit orchard, whether it's mango orchard, whether it's dragon fruit orchard, whether it's a hybrid guava orchard, we need to establish more orchards. Because it's a long-term tree crop, not many farmers are coming forward to establish orchards on their farm. And it's for this reason that we need long-term leases. With a 30-year lease, no one would want to invest on a tree crop which will start bearing in the 15th year, such as mangosteen. Mangosteen you plant today, it will start fruiting in 15 years' time. So very little time left for the farmer to recover and get returns. It is for this regard that we are encouraging landowners to get into orchards. We have a major shortage of boo and coconut oil, and prices are going up because we don't have coconut plantations in Fiji, very few. No coconut plantation in Vetilevu, mostly in the Kondrobe and Tavuni. We have got coconut farms. So we're now establishing coconut large farms and plantations in Western Vetilevu so that we can establish coconut orchard. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our development partners so far for bringing agriculture to where it is, reversing food sufficiency, self-sufficiency with regard to critical staples, and we are ready to march ahead and ensure that Fiji will continue to be a leader in terms of food security, in terms of promoting commercial agriculture and ensuring that our future generations also derive the same benefit from agriculture, while at the same time protecting our environment, our natural resources, and the commons that we have at our disposal. So in this regard, I take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude and support to FAO, who has been very supportive to us in terms of infrastructure and machinery provision on the ground. Government of China, DFED, New Zealand Aid, European Union, Government of India as well, for providing us with seeds in a very difficult and critical time during COVID-19 crisis, when we had 7 tons of seeds from India, which assisted us in ensuring and reviving home gardening programs around the urban area. So with these words, I want to wish everyone a very happy World Food Day, and I declare the 2022 World Food Day and Ra Mini Agriculture Show open. Thank you, Nakan.